Must I go to work? Must I contribute to society? Must I pay rent? Is it not enough to be a quirked up white boy goated with the sauce? Is it not enough to just have a good time? Make people laugh?
LGBTQ gender identity terms that you might not have heard of before, but I will explain to you. Part 2. Today's edition, Demi Boy. Now, if you've seen the last post that was Demi Girl, then you should be able to understand this a little better. So if you haven't seen that, go check that out, because it's basically the same thing, but it's just the other way around. According to wikia.org, a demi-boy is a gender identity describing someone who partially but not wholly identifies as a man or a boy, regardless of their assigned gender at birth. Oh, and that's disappeared. They may or may not identify as another gender in addition to feeling partially boy or a man. If you want to read the next bit, pause it now, I'll move out the way and read it. I hope that explains. So all in all, a demi-boy is a person who feels partially attached to the male gender, but not wholly enough to identify as a man or a male. And they could also be, for example, kind of in the middle between a boy and non-binary. They kind of feel like partially a boy, but partially not. But they could also identify with another gender. I hope this explains it. Have a lovely day.
I have a student in one of my classes that's homophobic, transphobic, sexist, purposefully misgenders me. Back in September, I tried to get him moved to another class because it had just been an ongoing issue. And not only was he rude and disrespectful, he was just like not trying, and wouldn't take direction, would constantly argue with me. It's been an ongoing thing. Was told that it's too late in the year, couldn't move him, he would lose the credit. Yet they transferred someone into my class this month who was only getting half the credit. So it's okay for that kid to get half the credit, but not okay to remove the kid that's harassing me. I went to the counselors today. I've been asking for a parent-teacher conference for months now. Hasn't happened. Counselors won't set it up. But when I mentioned the fact that he's misgendering me on purpose, I was told, well, some religions, they don't have to do that because some religions don't agree with that, so they don't have to respect that. At a public school. Now, I don't know if this kid is religious. I don't think he is, but the counselor sure is. And she made it obvious without directly saying it that she doesn't agree with who I am or my existence. So that's fun. And I hope she has the day she deserves. That's all I'm going to say.
Hey, so it's Mother's Day, and for people who identify as mothers, happy Mother's Day to you. I didn't really enjoy being told Happy Mother's Day today. It felt kind of not great. And I'm just thinking a lot about how next year I'm going to celebrate Non-Binary Parents' Day in April, which is a holiday that I just found out about when I Googled it this morning. And that'll probably feel good. Yeah.
So here I am outside Santander in Hove. This morning I went online and spotted a number of fraudulent transactions on my bank account. I rang up their online banking to report it, went through all of the security checks, no problem obviously, 'cause it's my account, but still couldn't talk to them on the phone because my voice is not perceived to be that of Sophie. So I was just wondering when perceived gender became one of the security questions. So I've already spoken to Sussex Police, who I'm a hate crime ambassador for, and they actually want it reported as a non-crime hate incident because the law allows for any kind of perceived prejudice to be recorded as unacceptable. And so I'm about to go in and see them. And the problem is that I'm talking to them on the phone this morning and my account's been compromised and I'm feeling vulnerable, and yet they are unable to help me. So let's see what they say in a branch. Well, I've just come out of Santander where we've cancelled my card and ordered the new one. I did get called sir twice in the process, including once in response to me actually pointing out to them that my account said miss, which was quite disappointing. So Santander, you really need to sort out your trans awareness training, and I will be taking this up with the people online. I'm not going to be arguing in the branch. I'll talk to you online.